Hello CraftDee family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY project, we'll be creating 4 Christmas and holiday themed DIYs to decorate your home. Now these all feature a red and black checkered print, and that is right on trend for the holidays. Now I've used a combination of $1 items that were purchased from the Dollar Tree and Dollar General, making these super affordable to make. Now I've provided the step-by-step instructions to help complete all of these projects, and for your convenience, all of the supplies and tools used to make these projects are listed in the description box below. Now I'm so ready to share this tutorial with you, but before we start, I wanted to say hey, and welcome back to my amazing subscribers and visitors to my channel. If you are a new visitor to my channel today, and you love to create fun and easy DIY projects on a budget, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you will be the first to know when a new DIY tutorial is ready to share with you. So now let's jump right into the projects. Now the first project will be a frame set of Christmas ornaments. Now for this project, we'll start with 3 ornaments of your choice, and these are from Dollar General. We'll also need some tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree, some foam board, and this is from the Dollar Tree, and we'll also need some wood grain contact paper from the Dollar Tree. Now the first thing we're going to do is lay down our Sure Bonder silicone mat and grab those tumbling tower blocks. So then you want to grab a straight edge, and we're going to adhere 4 of the blocks together. And then next we want to adhere 3 blocks together. Now altogether we'll create 6 sets of each to make our 3 frames. So now I'm going to grab the carpenter square ruler that you can also get from the Dollar Tree, and we want to start to adhere the block sets together to form your frames. Now keep in mind, you want to make sure you adhere the 2 shorter pieces in between the 2 longer pieces. Just rotate the piece around until you have a completed frame. And then you just want to repeat this process for the remainder of the block sets. So next we're going to grab that piece of foam board, and we'll be tracing the outside of the frame for the back of our 3 frames. And once they're all traced, we can cut the pieces out with your X-Acto knife and your ruler. Now set those to the side, and we can start to paint the frames, and we'll be using this black acrylic paint. Now you just want to apply one generous coat to the front, the inside, and the outside of each of the 3 frames, and then you want to make sure you sit them to dry completely. So while those dry, we can grab our foam cutouts and our contact paper. Now you just want to measure and cut out a piece that is large enough to cover and wrap around each one of the foam pieces. And then you want to cut it to size so you'll have a piece to fit each foam square. And then now just carefully peel and place that contact paper on the foam board, and you want to make sure that you smooth it out from the center out, and this will help remove any creases and bubbles. And then you just want to fold over and trim the edges to fit the shape. And here are all 3 covered and ready to go. So now we can add our frames. Now you just want to flip it over, and you want to add hot glue to the back of the frame. And then press the backing into place. And now all of our frames are ready to be decorated. So go ahead and grab your ornaments. You want to remove all of the string hangers and the tags. And then you can arrange your ornaments, making sure that they're nice and centered on the frames. Now we're going to apply these with hot glue to the back of each ornament, and you want to make sure you press it gently into place. Now if you want to hang your pieces, all you have to do is just to hot glue a piece of twine on the back. And here are the frames all set up and on display. I just think they turned out adorable. Now I really love the details and features in the Dollar General ornaments this year, and I'm so glad I decided to frame and display them. Now they have that beautiful holiday red and black theme, and they go perfect with this collection. You guys have to let me know, what do you think of these in the comments below? So the second project will be a 3-piece red and black container set. Now for this project, we'll start with the 3 round gift boxes from the Dollar Tree. We'll need some large craft sticks from Lowe's for 98 cents, and we'll only need 1 pack. We'll need some red and black fabric or scrapbook paper. And then we're going to start with taking the lids off of our containers, and protect your work surface because we are going to be sanding down glitter. Now if yours doesn't have glitter, you could skip this step. Then we're going to take this nutmeg brown acrylic paint, and I'm just going to put a light coat on the lids, and this is just to dull down the design in case it can be seen between the craft sticks. And then you want to take all of your containers, and we are going to paint the inside of those black. You just want to evenly apply one generous coat of paint almost to the top of the container, and then once that is applied, you want to let them dry completely. Now you can grab your fabric or your scrapbook paper, and you want to measure a strip to cut down that would have an overlap on the top edge and also on the bottom edge. Now you do want the seams to overlap as well. And then what you want to do is grab a container, and you want to apply hot glue to that container and apply it to the fabric and just roll it along as you go. Now keep in mind, if you do use fabric, make sure you get a pretty thin fabric so your lid will still fit on your container. And you just want to continue to apply glue as you wrap the fabric around the containers. Now when you get to the end, what you want to do is you want to glue and fold under that raw edge for a nice clean fabric finish. And then apply another strip of hot glue along that edge and seal it to the side of the container. Now go ahead and flip the container over to the bottom and apply hot glue around the bottom edge and press that fabric in, secure it in place. And to give it a finished look, I'm going to use this piece of black foam craft paper, and I'm going to hot glue that container right on top. And then all you do is take your X-Acto knife and trim around the edge. You have a nice clean bottom. So now we're going to add some hot glue on the inside edge of the container, and we're going to press that fabric over to the inside and secure it in place. And here are all 3 containers all completed. So now we can work on those lids. So grab your large craft sticks, and we're going to start by trimming a flat edge on one of those craft sticks. And then you want to go ahead and line it up with the edge of the lid, and you want to mark a trim line. Now we're just going to trim that piece down to size, and we are going to hot glue it into place along the edge. Now we are going to be repeating this process all the way around the lid, and these sticks are fairly easy to cut, and the process goes pretty quickly while watching your favorite TV shows. And now that that rim is complete, we can go ahead and cover the top with the sticks. Now we're going to start by just laying one on top, and we're going to trace the outline and the edges of the container. And then just take your scissors and trim it down to fit. And if it fits well, go ahead and adhere it into place with hot glue. And you just cover the remainder of the top with the sticks. And here is one of the completed tops. And now we could just complete the remaining two, and now all three tops are done, and we can move on to staining them. Now I wanted a lighter brown color, so I'm going to be using this Early American color by Ace. Now you can also use diluted acrylic paint as well. Now I'm just going to apply that stain to each one of the lids. And once they're all stained, just sit them out to completely dry. Now fast forward, now that they're all dried, I wanted to add some of these 50-cent handles I got from the Habitat for Humanity, and I wanted them black, so I spray painted them with satin black spray paint. Now I prefer not to hot glue these on, so I'll be drilling holes for screws in the lids. So I'm going to take my handle hole template and make sure that my holes are placed evenly, and you can get this template at any hardware store. Now once your holes are verified that they fit, go ahead and drill your 2 holes for your handle. Now in order to keep the screws from pulling through that hole, I'm also adding large washer to keep them in place. And now we can secure the screws through the lid to the handles. And now that it's nice and secure, we can repeat this with the other 2 lids. So now grab those containers and we can add those fancy lids to those containers and complete the project. And check out how awesome these containers turned out. Oh my goodness, I'm so in love with these. Now this is the perfect place to place your wrapped snacks and goodies for your guests. And I think the wood on top is the perfect touch to create a high-end look, but you can also use the wood grain contact paper if you prefer. No matter how you use these, they will be beautiful on display. Now the third project is a large framed farm tree sign. Now for this project, we'll start with this large gift bag from the Dollar Tree. We'll also need some foam board from the Dollar Tree. And we'll need 2 packs of the 5-gallon paint stir sticks from Lowe's for 98 cents. Now the first thing we're going to do is cut the paint sticks down to size for our frame, and 2 sticks will be cut at 15 inches and 2 will be cut at 17 inches. Now we will be staining these sticks that same lighter brown Early American color, and one side has printed measurements and the other side is blank, so make sure you stain the blank side of each stick. Now you do want to make sure that you stain the sides and the ends of each stick as well. Now once these are all stained, sit them out to completely dry. So now that they are dry, we can go ahead and glue those sticks together, and you want to place the longer sticks on the sides and the shorter sticks across the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to hot glue them in place for a temporary hold, and you want to make sure that you wipe away any glue that oozes out of the seams as you go. Now once your frame dries, go ahead and flip it over, and I'm just going to add a few staples on the seam of each corner, and you want to make sure you use shorter staples so it doesn't go through the other side. So now grab your gift bag and your piece of foam board. Now you want to place that dried frame on top of the foam board first and trace the inner edge of the frame on top to just get a general idea of the placement for your bag. So now you're going to take the bag and you want to remove all of the handles and the tags. And then you want to center that frame on the bag and trace the inner frame shape to the bag, and you want to make sure you capture the image that you would like to have in your project. So now you just go ahead and cut your image out, and you want to make sure that your cut is at least a ½ inch larger than the outline that you just made on your bag. So now we can adhere that bag to the foam board, and I'm just going to use a piece of painter's tape on the bottom to hold it in place. Now I'm going to be using Mod Podge to adhere it, and you just want to apply a light coat to the board in small sections and smooth the bag on as you go. Now this helps to have a nice smooth appearance when you're completed. And now that the image is smooth and in place, you can proceed to the next step. So now we want to take the frame and center it on the image, and you want to trim off any excess foam board if needed. And then I noticed they had holes for the bag at the top, so I'm just going to mix a bit of green and black acrylic paint to fill in those holes. So flip over your frame and apply a bead of hot glue to the back of the frame. And then carefully place it on top of your image. Then flip it over and add some hot glue around the edge for a little bit of added security. Then to hang, all you have to do is use a piece of twine with knotted ends and hot glue it into place. Then you can hang this up and enjoy this beautiful piece, and I think it turned out awesome. Now this piece reminds me of something you would see at Hobby Lobby or Kirkland's, and who would know it was actually Dollar Tree. Now I'm so impressed with the bags at Dollar Tree this year, and there are so many beautiful ones to choose from. Make sure you give this project a try. It's super easy. Now the fourth project is a 2-piece pedestal candle holder set. Now for this project, I'll start with 2 of these vases from the Dollar Tree, and I'll also use 2 of these candle holder trays from the Dollar Tree. Now the first thing we're going to do is adhere that little candle tray to the top of the vase. And what I'll do is use some E6000 first. Now we want to apply this around the opening of that vase. And then follow up with some high temperature hot glue as well, and this would help with an instant bond. Then you want to place it in the center of the bottom of that candle tray and follow up with a bead around the seam for added security. Now you want to repeat this for the second piece and let them dry for at least a couple of hours. So now that they've been drying a couple hours, we can take the pieces and we are going to be painting them. Now I will be using this white chalk paint to do this. Now you just want to take a generous coat and apply it to the entire outside of the holder, starting at underneath that candle tray portion. And then you want to apply the paint in one continuous stroke on the vase piece for a nice, smooth, streak-free finish. And then you want to let them dry. So once dried, we can carefully flip them over and we can paint the top of the tray. Now you just want to apply 1 or 2 even coats, letting them dry completely in between. And so now that they're both completely dry, we can add some Mod Podge to seal in that finish. You just want to apply 1 nice coat and let it dry thoroughly. So now that they are both completely dry, we can add our embellishments. Now to keep with the theme, I'll be making a bow out of this checkered ribbon that I got from Dollar General. So once you make your bow, just go ahead and figure out the form and trim it down however you like. Now to add my bow to the holder, I'm going to use some of this wire from the Dollar Tree, but you can use hot glue if you want it to be permanent, or you can use elastic. Use whatever you have on hand. You just want to run the wire through the back of the ribbon and wrap it around and twist it on the back of that vase part of the holder right under the candle holder. And then now all you have to do is add your own embellishments and you are done with this project. Now I have candles, pine cones, greenery. You can use whatever you like. Now once decorated, you can place these on display and enjoy your beautiful creation. Now I do recommend battery candles for this, and I won't be lighting these real ones, so I'm just using them for display. Now also, garland and mini wreaths will look so cute around the base of these. Now I can't tell you how much fun all 4 of these projects were today. You guys have to let me know in the comments which one was your favorite today. Now listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, give this video a big thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So CraftDee on Facebook for the latest new sneak peeks and giveaways. Thank you so much for visiting and checking out my tutorial today. If you like videos like these and you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below and turning on that notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.